Today, Kevin is going to be making fried beef tacos, if you can see that. Fried beef tacos. This is how they're supposed to look. These are from the Pioneer Woman magazine. This is the spring 2018 edition of Pioneer Woman magazine. My sister gave me a bunch of these. I think she got them from somebody at work, and this recipe looked really, really good to me. So, do you want to go over what we're going to need? Okay.
So we need 2 pounds of beef sirloin steak, and I've got to cut this into 1/2-inch pieces, so I'll be slicing that. 1 tablespoon of chili powder, half tablespoon of kosher salt, a tablespoon of ground cumin, 2 tablespoons of vegetable oil plus more for deep frying, whatever you're going to use for deep frying it. You can use the same oil. 1 cup of salsa, we're just using the paste. And then you need 16 small corn tortillas. We just have the white corn tortillas. And then you need 1.5 cups of finely grated cheddar cheese. You can also, you want lettuce, diced tomatoes, hot sauce, whatever else you want for a garnish. That's up to you, whatever you want to add to it. So I'm going to slice up this steak and I'll be back to show you what happens next. Okay, steak's all cut up. You can see it's about that thick. And I did cut them, they were in long strips, probably about that long. I cut them in half. So, basically they were that long and I cut them in half just to have smaller bite-sized pieces, or somewhat bite-sized pieces compared to what they were. So what I'm going to do is, since I have to season this before I cook it, I'm going to put it in a bowl. Let me move my cutting board. And I'm going to add my chili powder. That's a lot of chili powder. My salt and my cumin, however you want to say it. And I'm just going to mix this up a little bit just to get it all seasoned. And then once I get it all coated pretty good, I'm going to put my oil, that's the 2 tablespoons, I'm pretty sure. I'm going to put my oil in a pan, and I'm going to cook this for just a couple of minutes till it's kind of getting a little brown. And I'll show you that step. All right, my pan's heated up. That's all I was waiting for, is my oil to get a little hot. It's not super, super hot, but it's hot enough. See, it sizzles a little bit. Thank you for holding the handle for me. I'm just going to stick this in here. Like I said, you just really want to get it in here and brown it off just a little bit. And then once it's brown a little bit, then I'm going to add my salsa. So I'll be right back when it's brown. This has been cooking for, I don't know, 3 or 4 minutes. So it's all mostly not pink. There's some pink still in some of it, but it's okay because we're going to cook it in the salsa for probably another 6 to 10 minutes. So you're going to dump the salsa in. And then just kind of mix it all together. I wish this works pretty good, but I wish I had had a little bit bigger skillet to do this in. That way I wouldn't have to, I'd have a little bit more room to stir it up in. So if you've got a bigger skillet, I would recommend going for it. But this will add that little tomatoey kind of flavor. So I'm gonna let this cook down for 6 minutes. You wanna cook down some of this liquid. So I'm gonna make sure it's bubbling and boiling. And like I said, probably 6 to 10 minutes. We wanna make sure it's, the liquid has been reduced a little bit because we don't want it this watery. All right, so it's reduced down quite a bit. I mean, you can see it's still there, but it's reduced quite a bit, and the meat is definitely cooked. So I think it's probably taken, what, 10 minutes maybe? 10 minutes, yes, she's nodding her head.
Yes,
like
10 minutes, 10 minutes.
So I'm gonna move this over, and I'm gonna switch places with I've got a couple, like an inch or so of canola oil in a pan. I'm gonna switch them off, and we're gonna heat our oil up so we can get the frying process going. Okay, my oil's hot. I've got my pan of meat here. I've got my tortillas back here ready to go. I've got a stack of napkins or a paper towels to dry these off. Tammy's ready with cheese. So, and then the less tomato you can do on your own, whatever you want to do with it. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna fry them. So one at a time, you wanna take a tortilla, you want a pair of tongs, and you wanna add some of the meat to the tortilla. And I'm gonna add you don't wanna overload it, but you don't want too little either. And I'm gonna pinch this at the top, which is really hard to do. And I'm gonna lay it in this oil.
So this is gonna be time consuming.
Well, once you get one to where it'll kind of stay where that, then you can do another one.
So like you leave it
like right there.
Ah, okay.
And now I can do another one. And you can see I broke broke it, so I'm just be more careful with it. You really can't get a lot of steak in here, honestly. It's the recipe's the one that recommended tongs, but I tell you what, you gotta be really careful because it just tears it all to pieces because they're very, very soft. Maybe we should have got one that wasn't quite so soft. Get firmer tortillas, I guess.
Well, but yeah, they had another brand.
And it said leave them about 30 to 45 seconds per side.
Oh, that looks good. That's crispy. That's really nice and crispy.
See if I can get 3 of them going at a time.
Do we have any other tongs, or is there anything else you could use that would, like, would those toaster tongs be better because they're made of bamboo?
See what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna hold it. Instead of pinching it, I'm just gonna hold it.
That's a good idea.
It actually stayed pretty good anyway. Yeah, that one may not be a good one.
Yeah, that one will just be torn all the pieces.
Alright, so then take it and drain as much of the oil as you can out of it. And then I'm going to put it on this paper towel. And then Amy's going to try to take this, spread it apart and put some cheese
in here.
Yeah.
So I want to show you how I'm doing this. When Kevin gives it to me, because it is so very hot, I am kind of prying it open with the knife, just like this. I'm propping it open, and then I'm just throwing the cheese in here. And it's nothing fancy, just shoving it in there as much as I can because it is very, very hot. So that's how I'm doing it. So now you can do with these whatever you want. You can add black olives if you want to. You could add banana peppers, jalapenos. You can add some onion, although we use the paste picante sauce and it has onion in it. So we're just gonna add a little bit of lettuce and tomato to each one of these. And I actually have some taco seasoning too that once I try it like this, I might add some of that taco seasoning just to see what that tastes like too. But you could also do this, you could also use chicken.
Yeah, I thought about that too.
Yeah.
Pull some chicken?
Right. Well, and they sell fajita meat. So you could absolutely use fajita meat and heat it up and do the same thing with fajita meat. So we have a ton of steak left. We made 8 or 9. We made 9.
Because one broke all the pieces.
And so what we do have more of the tortilla shells, but I'm thinking you don't even have to do that. I'm thinking we'll make steak balls. So we can use that steak and just pile it on with the lettuce and tomato we have left.
I have some corn chips, like tortilla chips.
Oh, yeah.
You can drop that on top of it.
Drop those on top
and
just make bowls, just steak bowls without having to use the tortilla shells. But you said we saw 2 different brands of tortilla shells at Kroger. And I don't remember what the other brand was. But this, Kevin's thinking, you could feel through the packages. One was softer than the other one, and this was the softer one.
It even said super soft.
Right. So Kevin didn't know, should we get the tougher ones or should we get the soft ones? Well, now you know, get the tougher ones.
Get the tougher ones where they're not going to break. Although some of these were fun, and some of them broke in 2 at the almost every one of them broke the same. And some didn't, so. Tell you what, they're hot. I like the flavor though.
I do too. You really get the fried tortilla too.
I tell you one thing you could do this is the first time we made them, so always think of things you could do. When they're laying there cooling off, sprinkle just a little salt on them. On the hot, oily like shell, sprinkle just a little bit of salt on them to give it that little extra kick of salt on the outside. That would be really good. Even
though they have salt in there, really you don't taste it. You don't even know it. But what sold me on this recipe was that these were fried, because I usually eat I'm a hard taco shell person. I like the hard shells, and I don't like eat burritos and stuff like that because it has that soft shell. So I do like it that these are fried. I also have some Ortega. This is a taco sauce, original. I want to.
Doesn't need it, but
it doesn't need it, but I want to try it.
So, not being a soft taco person, does this satisfy that crunchy tortilla shell?
It does.
Because they're pretty crunchy when you fry them. Now, if you don't fry them enough, they're not going to be. But if you fry them pretty good, they're going to be good and crispy. Taco sauce just adds an extra layer of flavor.
It adds another kick to it.
Just like Taco Bell. You can eat it without, or you can put their sauce on it.
It does have a nice chili flavor. Honestly, you taste the chili flavor. It comes through more without the tortilla. Kevin gave us gave me a bite of just the steak before he put it in the shell, and it has a really nice chili flavor. I do like these. I think they would be fun for you to try. You really just need to know that it's not. It's going to be a little messy.
It's a process.
It's a process.
You have to work through.
You need two people. I think.
You do. It even said have a separate person put cheese in them while you're frying.
Okay, yeah, that's smart because.
I mean, you could do it yourself, but.
I think it's going to be a lot. You're going to be doing a lot unless you have somebody else there with you. And you saw that, I kind of had to pry them open. You have to be careful you don't burn your fingers. And so, I definitely think you need two people there. But I do think this is a good recipe.
It's very, very good. The only other thing I would do is I would cut the steak just a little bit smaller hunks. Not that it's bad with the big pieces, but I don't know if you saw me trying to get that one bite. It's like sometimes it's hard to bite through a piece of steak and pull it. They don't want to come apart, so you end up either burning yourself trying to pull it apart, or you pull out all the steak anyway.
Right.
So if they were in smaller, longer, or shorter hunks, they would have been easier to eat.
Well, I know she's trying to get you to make them from scratch, but you can buy. They sell fajita meat. They sell the beef or the chicken. You can
really
get
good
either
seasoning.
one. Yeah, it's already seasoned and everything. Although I would still add the cumin and the chili powder and stuff to that. But it's already in cut pieces. Yeah. It's in manageable
You could
pieces.
just take that, put it in your skillet, heat it up, and pour your salsa in there, and just get those flavors all developing. And without doing, you don't even have to do the chili powders if you don't really want to. You could, but you don't have to.
Right. So
these are good. I would try them out.
These are very good. I hope you enjoyed the video, and thanks for watching.